This episode is sponsored by AG1. Today, the plan is to build a twig railing and ladder for the loft. Now that the railings and posts were in place, my next job was to gather some branches, which I will intertwine between them. Before I hit the trail, I'd like to thank AG1 for sponsoring this episode. AG1 is a daily foundational nutritional supplement that supports whole body health. Since I become a husband and father, I'm more proactive with my health, which is where AG1 comes in. I love that AG1 contains 75 vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced ingredients. Prebiotics, probiotics, basically everything I need to support body, brain, and gut health. I've been taking AG1 for over a year, and I feel so much better for it. Lately, I've been drinking it in place of my morning coffee because it supports sustained energy throughout the day without the caffeine crash I get from coffee. With one scoop, I'm receiving a broad spectrum of micronutrients and phytonutrients to keep my body nourished all day, every day. As for the taste, I was initially surprised with how much I actually enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it over a year later. If you'd like to try AG1 for yourself, head to the link in the description below to get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D, plus 5 travel packs with your first purchase of AG1. Now let's find some branches for the railing. Over the past week, I've received lots of messages asking how my family and I have been faring with the many wildfires that are currently blazing across Canada. So I figured I should give an update. Although there are fires to the far west of us and also to the east, we're safe. We have been dealing with some smoke from the Quebec fires, but most of it has passed below us to the south. But for those who haven't been as fortunate, to my fellow Canadians who have been displaced by the wildfires, and to my American neighbors to the south who have been affected by the brunt of the smoke, my heart goes out to you. Over a decade ago, my wife and I experienced a wildfire that threatened to destroy our community. We all prayed for the winds to change and the rains to come. We too remember living within the orange haze of ash that choked our town, the giant lick of flames on the horizon, and the cool mist off the water bombers as they lifted over our heads from the lake with another load. The winds did eventually change, and the rains did come, just in time, for most of us. I'm thankful for that, but once again we pray the same prayer for our fellow Canadians and neighbors to the south. May the winds change and the rains come. Until then, we're indebted to the brave men and women who have risked their lives to battle the blaze across the nation. Well, another project is done within the cabin, and I'm really happy with how the twig railings have turned out. I'm not sure what else to call them, so I'm just going to call them that. But each piece is, of course, a custom fit, which means that it took a little bit longer to do it this way. Otherwise, I would have just put in some spindles, and that would have been much quicker to do, and it would have looked nice as well. But I like the unique look that this brings to the cabin, which has always been my drive. Everything that I do with this cabin, I want it to have a bit of a unique twist to it. So I think the twig railings do a really good job at continuing on with the character of this cabin. Now, as for the ladder, it took me a lot of time just to think about the style and the layout of the ladder or the staircase that I was going to be putting in. Initially, I was going to have some steps down here at the bottom with a landing, and the stairs were going to come up sideways to the loft. But first of all, that just takes up too much precious space within this cabin. This isn't a small cabin, but it's not big either. And to have a staircase coming up this way would have taken up a lot of space and would have messed with the planned layout for the cabin. So I went with this hybrid ladder / staircase design. It takes up very little space, but it's a little bit more comfortable than a vertical ladder. Now, these steps have an 8-inch rise on them. And truth be told, I think I would next time have a 10 to 11-inch rise. That would be more comfortable for me. But I made the stairs a bit smaller, or the steps a bit smaller, so that it's more comfortable for my wife and daughter when they come. So when they come next, I'm going to get them to try the ladder here and see what they think. If it works for them, then that's great. But if they're struggling with the steps as well, then I think I'm going to rebuild this staircase. And I know that's going to drive some of you crazy because it looks good and it works well just the way it is, but that's the perfectionist in me. I want to make sure that this is a perfect fit for my family. So anyway, I'll see what they think of it. If it's good, it'll stay just the way it is. But as far as the design is concerned, I wouldn't change a thing about it. I think it works perfectly for the space that we're in right now. That's it for now. Until next time, my friends, stay safe, be well, and God bless.